What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another account progression video. Alright, so it is time to get another tier 2 character on my progression here to try to get all of my characters to tier 2, and Black Cat is up today, so I have enough biometrics to get her to tier 2, so that's pretty much the only reason why she was selected, because I'm running really low on biometrics overall after leveling up a lot of characters to level 70, so I'm kind of just picking through my last remaining characters that have enough bios and ranking them up to tier 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at her before we get her to tier 2. Of course, we have her gears leveled up. For her skills, she doesn't really have any skills that need to be leveled up. She's pretty basic on her skills. None of them give any buffs or kind of like debuffs or anything like that. Outside of her passive is the only thing that does kind of anything to the enemies there. So basically, you are going to deal 40% bonus damage every 1 second. It's on a 10-second cooldown though, so that's really long. But anyway, you'll recover 25% of your damage dealt as health back. At least that's what I'm assuming, because it's very vaguely worded right there. Recover 25% per damage. Okay, thanks for the great explanation there, Netmarble. But anyway, because I do see her get some healing, so I'm definitely thinking that's where it's coming from. So 25% of your damage dealt is coming back as health, and that's over 5 seconds, and it's on a 10-second cooldown. So it does help to get a little bit of healing back, but it's nothing too substantial there. And then for the Isolate set, we do have Stark's backing on her. It kind of was the first set that I rolled on her, and she does have kind of issues surviving, so I did keep this set, so that bit of healing is really nice and a little bit more defense, because she is quite squishy as a character, so yeah, she dies quite easily. And then for the Obelisk here, we have Immune to Guard Break, because she definitely needs the Immune to Guard Break to get her skills off. Ignore Dodge is just nice overall. And then we have Invincibility, again, to help with her survivability, because it is quite low. I would like to get a damage proc on her, because she is lacking in both departments, both survivability and damage. So I would like to get more damage, but the survivability seems to be a bigger issue that needs addressing, just because she doesn't survive long enough to do any damage. So there's that. We do have our uniform. It is only at advanced, so I haven't really leveled it up too much there. And yeah, let's go ahead and get her ranked up then. So like I said, we are going to be ranking her up naturally with just the biometrics and materials here. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom, there we go. Alright, so Black Cat is now joined the tier 2 roster. So let's go ahead and see what she's getting from here, tier 2. So we have a 60% chance when attacking to apply to enemies a decrease to their buff duration by 80%, or their buff duration effects by 80% and duration by 50%, and then all debuff effects used by the character is reduced by 80% in potency and the duration by 50%. So, I mean, not too bad. That's kind of like having a debuff leadership similar to like Thanos, Wolverine, that kind of thing, where it just reduces the duration of the debuff, but then it also reduces the potency of the enemy's buffs as well. And then what she gets for herself is going to be a 20% increase to skill damage, a 15% to bonus damage, and then increase her guaranteed dodge by 30%. So overall, I mean, this is a nice tier 2 if it was going to be active like all the time as just like a passive tier 2, but it is on a 20-second cooldown, and it only lasts for 10 seconds, so it's only going to be active for half of the battle. So that really sucks. But if this was active all the time, I would be happy with this tier 2 right here for her, because it's not too bad. She gets a little bit of extra damage with that 20% and 15%, and then that guaranteed dodge is really nice. 30% guaranteed dodge. I really like that. It's a solid value, so definitely going to help out with her survivability, but it's only going to be active for half of the time. So that's where I feel a little disappointed with her tier 2 here. So her bad luck tier 2, it's kind of bad luck for her with only being active half the time. But anyway, there we go. So we have the Queen of Thieves. So we do have her freshly tier 2, so let's go ahead and try out a little bit and see how she can do in a little bit of gameplay here. Alright, and we are back. So here we are at floor 11 for Shadowland. We have basically the floor here where anything but lightning damage will work, and we're going to try out Black Cat here. And yes, as you can see from the team here, Black Cat was not performing as well as I would have liked, so I did have to change a few things around. So we do have Gorgon for the leadership there, and she still wasn't doing enough damage, and she wasn't surviving very well because of Groot there. Groot was doing insane amounts of damage to her, so that's why we have Iron Man in here. So basically what we are going to do here, let's go ahead and get this loaded, is we're going to use Iron Man to kill Groot right away, and then switch over to Black Cat and have her just deal with both of the Thors. So that way we can at least see her in action a little bit, but yeah, I definitely can feel how kind of outdated she is. She just... yeah, not very strong right now. Her skills look pretty cool for the animations, but that's about it. Alright, so we need to try to get... who did we get? We get Groot there? Kind of. Kill Groot. Alright, that'll be good enough. Alright, so let's switch over to Black Cat here. Alright, let's get our buff going. And now, yep, there we go. So Groot is down. So now she just has the, well, basically only Jane Foster to deal with, because Thor was already pretty hurt. But we can see here just how low her damage is. But again, we don't have a damage proc on her, but still, her damage is pretty bad. And even facing just one target here, it's kind of hard for her to even lock down just one target, because there's kind of like gaps in her skills, and she doesn't have enough multi-hits to really keep them stun-locked the entire time. Oh, no, we had Iron Man strike. Dang it, Iron Man. I didn't know you were a striker for Black Cat here. But anyway, as you can see, yeah, a little underwhelming here for Black Cat. Hopefully she gets a rework in the future, or a new uniform or something to help her out, because she's definitely in need of some help. Because, yeah, she's not really able to clear a floor on her own. Maybe like the first or second floor or something like that if you use her. But yeah, she's struggling here on floor 11, and she even had help from Iron Man to take care of all of the extra enemies for her. So that was basically a one-on-one there for game mode where we had 3 enemies. So it's not even, wasn't even like a boss fight or anything like that. And it's still a minute and 20, but like I said, Iron Man did most of the damage there. So overall, Black Cat still a pretty old character, not really worth getting to tier 2, but I still like Black Cat in general, and I like the animations that she has, so I figured I would get her to tier 2, and like I said, I'm also trying to tier 2 my entire roster eventually. I mean, I'm not doing it all in one burst here, but she will eventually get to tier 2, so we got her to tier 2 today. And yeah, definitely would not recommend getting her to tier 2 as one of your first tier 2s or early on in your account progression. Just only as like a fun tier 2 if you plan to try out for some gameplay in Shadowland, kind of like what I'm doing here, but don't really expect her to be kind of like your main unit, because she doesn't seem to be able to solo any of the floors. Like I said, maybe one of the first couple floors she might be able to do, but that's probably about it. But anyway, that's going to be it for my kind of thoughts on Black Cat here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.